Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a review on the Morphe Jaclyn Hill The Vault palette, and this is the Bling Boss palette. It's full of warm berry shades. My opinions are only going to be on this palette because I do not have the other three palettes, so just keep in mind that all my opinions about this palette is only for this palette and not for the rest. And I know that these palettes are not brand new, they did come out a few months ago, but I know a lot of people are still debating on whether or not to get them, so I figured that it wouldn't hurt to put out another review just so you guys can know my opinions in case you guys are wanting to get these palettes. I think there may be a limited edition, I'm not sure. So yeah. Okay, so there are 4 palettes in her Vault collection, and this one's in Bling Boss. It is full of warm berry toned shadows. And this palette is $15. You can get the whole vault for, I believe, $45 or $49. And that comes with 4 palettes. And they are all different. And this one's the berry tone ones. And I have used this one. I wasn't sure if I wanted to make this video with a tutorial, but I decided just to keep it just the review so it wasn't super long either. But if you want to see a tutorial on this look, I did it in my last video, so you can just go check that out. It will be linked down below in the description. And I'll be including swatches of this palette in this video, so I'll leave a timestamp in the description. So if you want to just see the swatches of this palette, you can just go in the description and look at that. Okay, so first off, when you open this palette, there is no highlight shade, which I actually didn't notice until I got this palette in the mail. I believe there's no highlight shade for this palette because the Vault is supposed to be bought like together. So some of the palettes have highlight shades, some don't, and this one doesn't. But it's fine, you just have to go into a different palette or a different shadow, or you can just use your highlighter. There are 10 shadows in this whole palette. There are 6 shimmers and 4 mattes. You can definitely get a full eye look using just this palette, but I think it's more practical if you go into a different palette also, because I feel like there's not too many shades to work with in this palette. All the shadows are super soft, especially the shimmers. When you put your finger in them, they're very soft. They are very pigmented, which is really nice. My last look, I noticed that there was no fallout, which was really nice. There's not too much kick up in these shadows. There is just a little bit, but if you just have to go in with a light hand and then it's fine. Yeah, this is overall a really good palette. I really like it. The only shadows that I'm not complete fan over is the Sparks and the Mystic. And I like the shades, it's just they don't blend as nicely as I noticed as like this Hush Hush did. But all the other shadows blended really nicely and they were really easy to use. Also, there is no like black shadow in this. There is this really dark shade. This is called Berry Treasure, but it is not a matte, it is a shimmer. If you can tell, it's like a purple with a ton of like gold, green, pink glitters in them in it. So there is no like basic colors in this. But if you really just want this palette just to have like these types of colors, I definitely recommend this palette. I don't think it's a palette you can use like every day, but definitely if you need a palette to do a look that you need these berry shades, I think it's a really good palette. It also has a really nice mirror in it. All these shadows are super pigmented and they blend out really nicely except the Sparks and Mystic shade. But I think that may be how they are made, like from how the color is made, because it is this like darker purple and this bright like red. So I think those colors are a little harder to make, so that's why they don't blend as nicely. If you just work with it a little bit, it will definitely blend out really nicely. You just have to work with it. All the shimmers are super pigmented. You don't have to use like Fix Plus or anything, you can just use a brush. I like to apply them with my fingers because I think that makes the shimmers look better, so I do that. Overall, this is a really great palette. I definitely recommend getting this one, and I can't say that all the other palettes are good either, or good, because I've only tried this palette. But if the quality of the shadows in the other palettes are like this, I definitely recommend getting the other palettes too, but I definitely recommend picking up this Bling Boss one. Okay, now I will show you guys the swatches of these shadows right now. Okay guys, so that was my review on the Morphe Jaclyn Hill The Vault palette in Bling Boss. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!